Kwisatz Haderach is the most important concept in the entire world of Dune. It is the idea around which the entire saga revolves, the notion upon which the future of humanity literally depends, whether people will continue to exist or face inevitable extinction. Some viewers and readers who are not deeply immersed in the Dune story might think that the Kwisatz Haderach is simply a very powerful seer. However, Dune has had many seers, ranging from the navigators of the Spacing Guild to the Reverend Mothers of the Fremen. Yet, there was only one Kwisatz Haderach. Or was there more than one? In this video, I invite you to explore together what Frank Herbert truly meant by Kwisatz Haderach, how the people of the Empire perceived the concept, and, most intriguingly, who else, besides Paul Atreides, became a Kwisatz Haderach. To begin with, the Kwisatz Haderach did not appear on his own as a tool of fate. His emergence was both foretold and meticulously engineered by the breeding program of the Bene Gesserit and other organizations in the Dune universe, which we will also discuss below. The idea of the Kwisatz Haderach was a dream of the Sisterhood, originating in the dark underground gatherings on the planet Rossak long before the victory of the Butlerian Jihad over the witches of Rossak. The term Kwisatz Haderach, which literally means shortening of the way, arose due to the Bene Gesserit's limitations in prescience, specifically their inability to access a particular area of foresight. This area, mysterious in nature, was known to be inaccessible to women. In particular, the spice melange allowed the Bene Gesserit to unlock genetic memory, but only through the female lineage. For unknown reasons, they were unable to peer into the male side of memory, and the very thought of doing so terrified them. Additionally, melange enabled the Sisterhood and others to perceive only a limited number of thoughts, emotions, and images in the near future, but nothing more. However, the Bene Gesserit wanted more, both for power and simply because they saw the potential to achieve it. Thus, they devised a plan to create a being with unlimited access to genetic memory and prescience, the Kwisatz Haderach. The Bene Gesserit's desire to unlock these knowledge and power sources led them to initiate a long-term genetic breeding program aimed at producing a man with the mental abilities to transcend space and time, one who would remain under the direct control of the Sisterhood. The Bene Gesserit knew that their Kwisatz Haderach would not only possess other memory from both the male and female lines, but would also be able to predict the future with unparalleled accuracy. He would essentially be a combination of a Reverend Mother, a Mentat, and a Navigator all in one. For millennia, the Bene Gesserit carefully orchestrated a highly controlled, selective breeding program, involving nearly all influential bloodlines in the universe. They meticulously cultivated and maintained key genetic lines, striving to preserve their purity and strength. In their view, success in their eugenics program was impossible without a strict distinction between the human and animal aspects of individuals. To reinforce specific traits and genetic lines, they even arranged marriages between close relatives if it helped strengthen dominant characteristics. Two genetic lines were of particular importance to this mission: House Atreides and House Harkonnen. The significance of the Harkonnen bloodline for the program had been established over 2,000 years prior and remained a priority. All marriage unions conducted within their eugenics program were meticulously documented and stored in what was known as the Breeding Index, a comprehensive record that served as a guide for planning future generations. This tool allowed the Bene Gesserit to control the evolution of humanity in pursuit of their long-term goals. The original plan of the Bene Gesserit was to crossbreed Duke Leto Atreides' daughter with a young man from House Harkonnen, resulting in the birth of the Kwisatz Haderach. This was supposed to be the culmination of more than 10,000 years of meticulous selective breeding. This plan would have ended the centuries-old feud between the great houses, House Atreides and House Harkonnen, and allowed a man with a powerful gift of foresight under the control of the Bene Gesserit to ascend the Golden Lion throne as the Kwisatz Haderach. However, out of love for Duke Leto, Lady Jessica defied the orders of her Bene Gesserit sisters and gave birth to a son instead of a daughter, in order to provide Duke with an heir. This boy was Paul Atreides. From the very beginning of Paul's life, it was clear that he had the potential to become the Kwisatz Haderach, as he exhibited the ability to see the future. At the age of 12, he survived an assassination attempt organized by House Mauritani while training in the jungles of Caladan with Duncan, Idaho. At 14, he saved Governor Keogh's life on Balut in the famous Shard Theater. When Paul was 15, the Bene Gesserit sent a Reverend Mother to test the young man's prophetic gift and his training in accordance with Bene Gesserit customs. This visit apparently became a major catalyst for the events that unfolded in the universe over the next several thousand years. The Gom Jabbar test, administered to Paul, along with the silent complicity of the Sisterhood in his father's death, turned Paul against the Bene Gesserit. As a result, when he came of age and ascended the Golden Lion throne, he swore that he would never be under the control of the Sisterhood. Thus, the Bene Gesserit lost control over their breeding program, the Kwisatz Haderach, and their opportunity to place a puppet on the throne. Upon becoming the Kwisatz Haderach, after consuming the Water of Life, among the Fremen, Paul Atreides gained immense power. He unlocked the memories of countless generations of ancestors and could foresee the future with incredible clarity and depth. However, at the same time, he became a prisoner of his own abilities. Knowing what was destined to happen, he was effectively stripped of free will, as the future was now predetermined for him, his loved ones, and all of humanity. Paul Atreides foresaw that humanity was doomed to extinction, and the only way to prevent this fate was to follow the Golden Path, a course of action that required immense personal sacrifice. Yet, Paul ultimately could not bring himself to take this path. However, his son, Leto II Atreides, who possessed the same potential and also drank the Water of Life, becoming the next Kwisatz Haderach, proved to be more resolute and took on the role of humanity's savior. Moreover, he deliberately entered into a symbiosis with Sandshroud, transforming himself into a giant, immortal sandworm. His new body allowed him to fully unlock his abilities, as he was now free from human vulnerabilities. During the Muad'Dib Jihad, the Bene Tleilax also attempted to create their own Kwisatz Haderach for the same purpose, to engineer a superhuman under their control and use him to seize power over humanity. And since the Bene Tleilax were incredibly skilled in eugenic technologies, they came very close to succeeding. They named their Kwisatz Haderach Thalo. However, trapped by his own fate, just as Paul Atreides had been, Thalo realized that he was doomed to fail, which ultimately drove him insane. In a fit of madness, he attempted to destroy the population of the city of Thaliday before taking his own life. Even the thinking machines made an attempt to create their own Kwisatz Haderach. Using the genetic material of Paul Atreides, they engineered his corrupted clone, Paolo. He was raised specifically to become the Chosen One. But many years later, Paolo faced off in combat against a normal clone of Paul Atreides. Paolo emerged victorious, yet the thinking machines rewarded him with an exceptionally potent form of spice melange, which caused him to go mad, and soon after, he perished. After the famine times, which followed the death of Leto II, The remaining influential figures in the Old Empire either forgot about the concept of the Kwisatz Haderach or fiercely opposed the rise of another superbeing. The Bene Gesserit went so far as to literally kill individuals who exhibited aspects of heightened abilities. However, as demonstrated by the wild Atreides bloodline, supernatural human abilities continued to manifest regardless. Following the scattering, Miles Tegg and his daughter, Darby O'Drade, both descendants of House Atreides, also displayed such abilities. Tegg possessed the power to move at lightning speed, which allowed him to incapacitate his captors on Gamma. O'Drade had limited prescience, which enabled her to foresee that the rogue honored Matres and the Bene Gesserit must merge into a single organization. Yet, it was not their fate to become the final Kwisatz Haderach. The final Ghola of Duncan, Idaho, who had effectively lived countless lives, became the greatest source of concern for the Bene Gesserit due to his immense potential. The conservative faction of the Sisterhood went so far as to defy the orders of Mother Superior Taraza and attempted to eliminate the young Ghola Duncan, despite her oath to protect him from the Tleilaxu. In the end, Duncan managed to escape but fell into the hands of the thinking machines. There, the most powerful entities in the Dune universe, including a clone of Paul Atreides and the Oracle of Time, recognized Duncan as the true superbeing, the ultimate Kwisatz Haderach. Ultimately, Duncan merged his consciousness with the independent robot Erasmus, bringing an end to the war between humans and the thinking machines, and finally eliminating the existential threat to humanity. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support is the best reward for me. Thank you for watching, see you soon, bye.